Hey guys, this is Luna Meow, and you're watching Jammin' Music Man. Yeah.
I got you roasted like ever. You don't know, but my rhymes, they straight up clever. So you step down off the pedestal. I'm the best man. You need to go to the fucking Dito.
Goodwill. More like Badwill.
What's up, guys? It's me, Jammin' Music Man, and welcome to my Q&A video where I'm going to be answering your questions. Now, you guys might remember when I uploaded my Ask Me Questions video about a month ago, I challenged you guys. I challenged anybody. If you ask me a question on video, I'll include your video question in my Q&A video. Well, I have two special YouTubers. That's right, two. And they're my favorite boys from New Jersey. I'm talking about the Big Boss Man D-Lo and his son D-Lo Flow TV. They got some questions for me. So without further ado, I'm going to answer these questions first. So without further ado, let's see what the D-Lo boys want to know.
My man, Jammin' Music Man. How you doing, buddy? I got a question for you, my friend. And that is, who was your favorite wrestler from the NWO? That's right. Too sweet. Mine was Kevin Nash. Big Sexy. Because I'm big sexy too. Take care, my friend. Love your videos. You're the best.
What's up, y'all? This is D-Lo, and my question for Jammin' Music Man is, would you rather be a Klondike bar or a Snickers bar? Because either way, I'm sure they're both good. Let me know, bro. Hope you enjoyed this question. Peace.
Alright, thanks for your question, guys. I'm going to answer the Big Boss Man D-Lo question. He wants to know, who was my favorite member of the NWO? Man, that's a tough one. I mean, there were so many. Of course, I like Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. I loved it when Sting joined the NWO Wolfpack. But man, if there was one person that I had to choose that I loved in the NWO, I guess I would have to say none other than Big Sexy Kevin Nash. Thanks for your question, Big Boss Man D-Lo. Now for D-Lo Flow TV's question. He wants to know, would you rather be a Klondike bar or a Snickers bar? Easy. Klondike bar. Alright, shout out to the Big Boss Man D-Lo and D-Lo Flow TV for their video questions. Go subscribe to them. They're some of my favorite people here on YouTube. But right now, I'm going to get to some other questions. This first question comes from Brandon Burns. Shout out to Brandon Burns. He's one of my favorite people here on YouTube. He wants to know, hey James, did you ever get into a fight when you were in school? And if yes, did your parents punish you for it? Oh, and did you ever watch the TV shows Seinfeld and Frasier? And if yes, what were your favorite episodes and characters from those shows? I never did get into a fight at school. There were some people at school, you know, I didn't particularly care for. There were some teachers that I particularly didn't care for. I did skip school a lot, and, you know, I'd get in trouble for it, of course. And, you know, I was mainly quiet in school. I'm a very quiet person. I know it's hard to believe. But, did I ever watch TV shows Seinfeld and Frasier? I never really watched Frasier, but I did like watching Seinfeld. And back in the 90s, you know, I watched Seinfeld off and on back then, but I mainly really started watching Seinfeld in reruns after the show was over. But, of course, you know, I like pretty much everybody on Seinfeld. And some of my favorite episodes were, of course, when Jerry had the fluffy shirt, and then there was that one episode where Kramer had those Chinese or Japanese tourist guys staying in his apartment. They were living in his chest of drawers, and I definitely remember watching the last episode of Seinfeld. But Seinfeld's a good show. It's a classic and one of my all-time favorites. Next question comes from D-Lo Flow TV again. He wants to know, what is your favorite music and favorite music artist? Now that's a tough question for me. I mean, I like so many genres of music and so many artists. I mean, I really just can't say one, but at the current moment, my favorite type of music that I really like listening to is like techno, house, electronic music. And what is my favorite music artist? Oh man, that's a tough one. I would have to say, currently right now what I'm listening to, I would probably have to say I like listening to Kraftwerk. And if you don't know who Kraftwerk is, they're like the godfathers of electronic music. And you know, these past few years, you know, I've really been getting to like old school electronic music from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And you know, there's a lot of great electronic music artists out there, like The Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, Tangerine Dream, so many, man. But thanks for your question, D-Lo Flow. Now this next question comes from, I hope I'm not butchering your name, it's Piyali Sengupta. I hope I didn't screw that up. She wants to know, what do you absolutely hate on your pizza? Or what topping do you absolutely hate on your pizza? I would have to say hamburger. I'm not a big fan of hamburger pizza. I don't like it. But thanks for your question. Shout out to Piyali Sengupta. Go subscribe to her. And I hope I didn't ruin your name. Don't hate me. Another question from Brandon Burns. He wants to know, hey James, did you ever watch car chase movies like Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, The Blues Brothers, and are you a fan of those kinds of films? Oh, and have you ever seen the repo shows that used to be on True TV, Operation Repo, Lizard Lick Towing, South Beach Tow? And if yes, what was your favorite character and or episode, if you remember it? Yeah, I like the car chase movies like Smokey and the Bandit, the Blues Brothers. Yeah, I like those kind of films. And I definitely do remember watching Lizard Lick Towing and Operation Repo, and the characters or episodes, man, I really can't remember. I'm not really that big of a fan of reality TV, honestly, but I do remember watching those shows. Shout out to Brandon Burns. Another question, somebody wants to know, hey James, did you ever watch the Three Stooges when you were a kid, and what was your favorite stooge? Mine was shrimp. Yeah, I did watch the Three Stooges, and I definitely remember watching the Three Stooges cartoon. And if I had to pick a favorite, I guess it'd have to be Curly. Alright, this next question comes from my homeboy Brandon Burns. Yet again, he wants to know, hey James, since you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, what other animes do you like? And have you seen Naruto, Fooly Cooly, Dragon Ball Super, and the Dirty Pair? And did you used to read the Sunday comics like Peanuts, Garfield, and what was your favorite comic strip? Some of my other favorite animes, I like Mobile Suit Gundam, the original, Yu Yu Hakusho I used to watch, Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball I used to watch. I guess we could consider Robotech an anime. I used to watch it. What are some others I used to watch? Cowboy Bebop, used to watch it. And have I seen Dragon Ball Super yet? I actually haven't. I've been slacking with watching my Dragon Ball Super stuff, but I want to pick up some of those Dragon Ball Super DVDs they got at Walmart so I can catch up with it. And did I used to read the Sunday comics? Yeah, I mean Peanuts and Garfield, and there was a few others that I used to like to read. And occasionally I'll still read them, but thanks for your question, Brandon. And now Brandon wants to know, hey James, love your dogs, Porkchop, Cheyenne, and Gladys. I was Also wondering, where did you get them from, and have you had them since they were puppies? Alright, Brandon. Yes, I have had all my dogs since they were puppies, but first off, I want to introduce you to my girl, Gladys. I've had her since she was born. Of course, she's Cheyenne's daughter. Cheyenne's my oldest dog, and Gladys is the middle child, and Porkchop, he's the baby. But Gladys is one of Cheyenne's puppies that she had, and I remember the day Gladys was born. She was born in February of 2011. Yes, I love you too. She was born in February of 2011, and Cheyenne had a bunch of puppies, and Gladys was the only one that we kept, and I've had her ever since. And then this right here, this is my buddy Porkchop, and I've had Porkchop since January of 2015. He's my home dog, and I found him and his brothers on the side of the road January of 2015, and he was a little thing at that time. I don't even know the exact date or month when he was born. Evidently somebody just left him and his brothers on the side of the road, and no kidding, he was in a trash can. Somebody had left a trash can on the side of the road with like pine straw because it was January, and they just left him and his brothers on the side of the road. And out of the litter that I found, I kept him, and he's just a sweet little boy, and he's my favorite little person. And to be honest, I don't even know what kind of breed of dog Porkchop is, but he's a sweet little boy, and I love him very much. And this little person right here, this is Cheyenne, and she's the oldest of all my dogs. She was born in March of 2009, and I've had her since May of 2009. And she was the runt of her litter. So all my dogs were the runts of their litters. And like I said, she's a full-blooded boxer, and she's the oldest, and she's the mother of Gladys. And there you see Gladys and giving Cheyenne some love. But Cheyenne, reason why we named her Cheyenne is because, of course, she's real shy, she's quiet, but she's a good little girl. And here you see Gladys giving her some kisses. But you know, these are my dogs. They're my family, and I love them very much. Alright, this next question comes from my homeboy Ryan, aka Roo TV. Go subscribe to him here on YouTube. He wants to know, James, what is your earliest memory of pro wrestling growing up? A moment, a character, a match? Thanks, Jammin' Music Man Rocks. Thanks for your question, Roo TV. One of my earliest memories of pro wrestling growing up, I would have to say I remember I had a Macho King wrestling buddy, and I was, of course, beating him up while wrestling was on TV. And I believe I was watching Sting wrestle, and you know, I was doing all the moves that Sting was doing, and I ended up breaking like my mama's like vase or glass plate or something like that, and I ended up breaking it because, you know, I was getting a little bit rough and rowdy with my wrestling buddy. Of course, ended up breaking it. That was like one of my earliest memories of wrestling. And of course, I would have to say, like, one of my earliest memories would have to be the whole Sergeant Slaughter, when he turned on America, when he became the Iraqi sympathizer. That was like one of my early memories. So like 90, 91. A favorite character, oh man, so many to choose from. Of course, you know, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Sting, Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of my favorite matches, I would have to say, one of my all-time favorites would have to be, Bret Hart and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13 in the submission match. That's one of my all-time favorites right there. But thanks for your question, Ryan. You rock, buddy. Go subscribe to Roo TV. Alright, next question. Hey James, what do you consider your all-time favorite video you uploaded on YouTube? I mean, once again, that's another tough question. I mean, there's a lot of ones that I've done that I like doing. I know my album review that I did of Prince's Dirty Mind is probably like my most watched video here on my channel. But, you know, like I said, that's a tough question. I like to think the best is yet to come. So, you know, hey. But whatever you guys think is my greatest video I've ever done, hey, I'll let you guys decide that. But thanks for your question. Next question comes from my girl Amber Sanders. Go check her out here on YouTube. She wants to know, where did you grow up? What's your favorite color? If you could travel anywhere, where would you go and why? If you had a superpower, what it would be and why? Where did you grow up? I grew up in Thomaston, Georgia. I was born there, lived there, just a little small town. It's like 30 miles west of Macon, like 60 miles south of Atlanta. What's your favorite color? Black, red. If you could travel anywhere, where would you go and why? I would love to go to London, England, and a lot of the European countries. I think it's beautiful over there, and have always wanted to go over there. And I'd like to go maybe like Japan, Australia. And if you had a superpower, what would it be and why? That's a tough one. If I had any superpower, what would it be? I don't know. I guess I would be a Super Saiyan God, I guess. I don't know. But thanks for your question, Amber Sanders. You rock. Go subscribe to her. Next question. Another one from Brandon Burns. He wants to know, James, did you graduate from high school? What was the name of the high school that you graduated from? And did you like some of your teachers? And was there some of them you couldn't stand? Yes, I did graduate from high school. I know it's hard to believe. The name of the high school, it was Upson Lee High School. And did you like some of your teachers? There was some that I did like, some that I didn't care for. And he also wants to know, do you remember some of the classes that you wanted to take? I liked taking art class. You know, I used to draw, and I used to like to do artistic things. And there were some other classes that I liked. English, lunchtime, going to the library, stuff like that. But thanks for your question, Brandon. You right, buddy. Alright guys, my last questions come from one of my favorite YouTubers, the lovely Luna Meow. Go subscribe to her. Check out her brand, Lonely Shadows Only. I'll put a link to her website in the description box. Go check out her stuff. She's got some great merchandise. She got a few questions for me. She wants to know, how long have you had Porkchop? Like I said earlier, I've had Porkchop since January of 2015. Like I said, I found him and his brothers on the side of the road in a trash can. I know it sounds like a sob story, but it's true. I found some puppies on the side of the road in a trash can. Somebody had put pine straw in this trash can for the puppies, and Porkchop, like I said, he was the runt of the litter. And that was January of 2015, and I would probably have to say Porkchop might have been born around maybe December of 2014, because he was just a wee little thing at the time. But January of 2015 is when I first got Porkchop. What are some of your favorite horror movies? Of course, John Carpenter's Halloween. I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Lucio Fulci's Zombie, Cannibal Holocaust, the Creep Show movies. Anything pretty much from like 70s and 80s and 90s. And there's a couple of horror movies today that I like. But, you know, I pretty much like all the classics. If you could live forever, would you want to? That's a tough question. I don't know if I'd want to be honest. You know, I'd like to know what the afterlife has for me, to be honest. If you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who could it be and why? Man. Currently, I'd like to know what Donald Trump feels like with, you know, everybody just giving him so much hate. I would like to know how he feels and what he thinks. I would like to know that. Can you cook? There's a few things that I can cook. I'm not a chef by no means. You know, I occasionally I'll cook with the George Foreman grill. Can you tell us one of your favorite childhood memories? Oh man, that's another one. So many. You know, probably stuff with my dad. You know, like I said, my dad passed away in August of 2016. But another personal childhood favorite of mine is the first dog I ever had, Penny, who was a golden retriever, and I first got her Christmas Eve of 1992, and I had her all the way up until May of 2007. So she was close to 15 years, and I had her since I was a little kid all the way up until high school, till I graduated, and she was a part of my life for 14 years. And when you've had a dog like that for 14 years, I mean, that becomes a family member. And when she died, and the reason why she died, she had it was cancer, and it was just a real sad day for me, the day that she passed away. And she'll always be in my heart. But you never forget your first pet. And Penny, that was her name, and like I said, she was a golden retriever. And I went a couple of years where I didn't even have any pets until I got Cheyenne in 2009. So that's one of my favorite childhood memories. But thanks for your question, Luna. But before I let you go, Porkchop has got something to say to you. Alright, Luna, before I let you go, my homeboy Porkchop, he wants to wave to you. He's your #1 fan. Who's your favorite YouTuber, Porkchop? Luna meow. See? He loves you. What's your favorite t-shirt you like to wear? LSO. See? He loves you, Luna. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for your question, Luna. Uh-oh. Thanks for your question, you guys. Be sure to slap that like button in the face. Thanks for watching, and thanks for everybody for giving me a question. I'm Jammin' Music Man, and I will see you guys next time.